So, as promised, I will be making a video about arrays before we will be having our discussion. So, let's talk about arrays. Now, array is a collection of variables of the same type that are referenced by a common name. It's also a specific element in an array is accessed by the index. Sorry. So this is not definition. So according to the second statement, a specific element in an array is accessed by the index, meaning you can store numbers or characters in an array. So the lowest address corresponds to the first element and the highest address corresponds to the last element. So let's say, for example, from 0 to 5. So the 0 there, it corresponds to the first element, and the 5 is the last element. Don't worry, you'll understand more when we'll be having an example. First lesson in arrays, of course, is we will be starting with the basics. So the first thing or the basic about array is what we call the one or the single dimensional array. So a data structure used for storage of a collection of data items that are all the same type. So again, data structure used for storage, okay, storage of a collection of data items that are all the same type. So for example, you want to store 5 numbers, no, in a single dimensional array. So pwede. For example, you want to store 12, 15, 18, 22, 25. So actually, you can store them in a single dimensional array. Individual data items are stored in adjacent cells of main memory. Now, how do we declare arrays? In a one or single dimensional array, so we have here the data type, for example, int or double. Okay, then how do you name your array? For example, num. Okay, num. Okay, so array name and the size of your array, for example, 6. Okay, so meaning you can store 6 numbers here. No? So in two or double dimensional array, okay, the form or the general form is the same, but here we have size 2 and size 1. So for example, when you arrange a seat, no, not a rows and a column, so you can use the double dimensional array for that one. Okay, for example, this is row 1, column 1, and ang pangalan dito sa row 1, column 1 kay si John. So you can display John in your program, no? Pwede ta magbuhat na program in a double dimensional array. But yeah, let's first talk about single dimensional array, excuse me. So in a single dimensional array, actually, an example for that one is the temperature, no? So let's say, for example, you want to store temperature. Now, why do we need to use double? Since temperature is that does have a decimal number, so of course the data type should be double or float. Okay, so double temperature 5. Sorry, no, you can actually store 5 numbers here. So starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what you are going to input are what we call elements. So kanimong gipang input diri from 0 to 4 are what we call elements. Okay? Here kani siya ang ginatawag nato na index or subscript. Index or subscript. So it's commonly known as index. Okay? So from 0 to 4 is what we call index. So again, sa double temperature 5, you can store 5 numbers, but the index is only until 4. So you count from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember that index always starts with 0. Index always starts with 0. Okay? So, again, these are what we call elements, and this is what we call index. Kanisha is what we call the uh, size of your array. For example, you want to store 50 or 50 names. No, sa isa ka klase na ay 50 ka book names. So, of course, you are going to say string class, ang character, sorry, ang array name mo is class Cordapia. So, class Cordapia, and then array size is 50, no? So, since we are talking about names, so string atong gamiton, which will be discussed on our next lessons. So, meaning you can store 50 names in your array there. Okay? But the index is from starting from 0 to 49. All right. Now, how do we print an array? Okay? So, saan pag-print sa array di ay class? Now, in printing an array, i-declare nimo to sila and then you print them by doing this. Okay? Sige. So, let's try and have an example about uh, single dimensional array, no? So, predefined ang ato ang array. Printing an array. So, before we type this one, okay, open your Dev C++. So, balik sa taderi, no? Sa double temperature 5. Meaning we have to put 5 numbers in the array size, no? Okay, 5 man ang array size. So, from index 0 to 4, butangan nato siya og elements. Okay? Sa ganang elements ang mga inputs. So, double temperature 5. Sige. So, for example, define the daan, no? So, temperature 0. 12.3 man to, di ba? So, si temperature 1 is, itong value sa temperature 1, 7.5. Sa temperature 2 is 65.0. Temperature 3. Sige. So, index 0, 12.3. Index 1, 7.5. Index 2, 65.0. Sa index 3 is 72.1. And sa index 4 is 87.5. Now, without using the loop, inani siya kataas ang mahitabo, no? So, from index 0 to 4, you are going to see out everything. Isa-isahon gini mo siya see out. Ay, wala dapat ang so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, kung walay loop, inaniun siya. Sige, so ira na to. Oh. So manggawas to mga values, but because we did not put end lines, medyo nagkabuang siya, di ba? All right. So, yeah, nigawas ang mga values inside the index 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, sir, what if gusto nako mag-input ang user? Okay, no problem. Okay, again, this is without using a loop, no? Without using a loop. So, kopya, isiin lang nato, no? So, meaning magpa-input ka sa index 0. Magpa-input ka og element sa index 0, magpa-input kag element sa index 1, magpa-input kag element sa index 2, magpa-input kag element sa index 3, and then magpa-input kag element sa index 4. And of course, i-see out niya tanan imong gi-input. Let's check. Okay, let's say for example, si index 0 is 53.8, si index 1 is 23.4, si element saan na yun? 3, element 3 niya index 2. Okay? So 2.5. Okay, index 4 element index 3 element 4. Okay? Index 4 element number 5. Okay? So of course, i-see out niya tong mga imong gi-inputs, kay si index 0 to 4 na imong gi-input, mo man ang imong i-output. Okay? So, sir, taas kayo ang program, dili siya efficient, dili siya uh, siya readable ba na nakataas, no? What if 1 million ka buok or makastore ka og 1,000 ng kabuok number, so 1,000 po nimo balik dabalikon. Okay, so dili siya scalable mo ng perfect term. Now, upon using an array, remember the for loop, no, which is your favorite. So for, ano ta? For int. Okay. So dire mag-declare ta og index, no? Mag-declare tag index. Okay, again, 'di ba, mag-start ang index sa 0. Mo to yung kanina, index start sa 0, then ang index kutob siya sa 4. So less than 5 siya. So meaning mo stop ang loop pag maabot siya sa 4. 'Di ba? Kay is 5 less than 5, no? Again, mag-start ka sa 0, nya mag-increment man nya 1, 2, 3, 4. True gyapon. Pagka 5 mag-false na siya. So therefore mag-stop imuhang loop, no? Okay? So therefore magpa-input lang ang user hantod sa 4 lang. 4 lang ka inputs, no? So ano lang punta? Temperature index. Okay. So, ana lang ka-simple. Magpa-input. Okay? Sir, nganong temperature index? O, nganong temperature index? Again, mag-start ka og pa-input sa index 0. Okay, so 0. Start ka sa 0. Then, mag-increment, mahimong 1. Is 1 less than 5? Yes. So, magpa-input na po ka index 1 and so on and so forth. So, let's try. So, pa-input pa lang ni, no? Wapay purpose. Kaya wapa man nato ipang output. Ma-input na siya og dapat 5 ka buok. Okay, so 5 ka buok input. Sir, unsaon pag-output ana, sir? Okay, so mo ning sayon maglingaw na part, no? So ngano nakaingkog lingaw? Because i-copy-copy lang na nimo, ilista lang nimo nag-see out. Mogawa sa to imong mga gipang input ka ganina. No? So, okay. Sir, wala siya mga spaces. Okay, so edi butangan, di ba? Tatog space or you can put end line, no? Kamabahala ang saan niya na siya. Sige. So, para mas nindot po siya, butangan na to og see out enter elements. Ana. Na. Okay, enter elements 12.0, 5.0, 1.0, wala, sama 1.0. By the way, dapat dili ko ano, dili elements. We are talking about temperature di ay. So, again, pag magbuhat kag program, make sure na masabtan sa imong mga listeners or sa imong mga viewers unsa ba ang imong mga gi-type. Of course, for example, if mag-program ka in the future, imong client, di makasabot unsa ng elements. So, unsa dapat ang ibutang namo diri, di ba? Dapat kung unsa imong i-input, masabtan, no? Sa imong client. All right, so I guess that's it for an example in a one-dimensional array. If you have any questions, I will be posting a forum for you to ask there. Thank you for listening.